We're going to perform a one sample z-test forming in JASP using the p-value approach. The scenario says researcher Franco claims that the average score of all the fundamentals of statistics Math 121A is more than 75%. That's what he said. So to test his claim, he surveyed a sample of 35 of the Math 121A students. Remember, he said all, so that's the population. He's talking about the population of Math 121A students. But he just surveyed 45, and he's going to use a significant level of 0.05. And we're going to use JASP to help Franco complete the z-test forming using a p-value approach. Now, here's the data. Okay, so before we input the data in SPSS, because as we know, to take a p-value approach using a software, for example, JASP, you must begin by stating a pair of hypotheses. Okay, so we are going to state that HO and HA. And we're going to use the symbol for population mean, mu. Okay, and here's HO and HA come beneath, or we can use H1, it doesn't really matter. Now, he said HA, the mean is more than is an alternative statement, more than 75. Now, you can just simply use equal to 75 for the null, or you can use less than or equal to, all right? You can use less than or equal to, but it's very common to just simply use equal, okay, for the null hypothesis. Now, we're going to input the data into Excel, but from a previous video, the data has been already inputted into Excel. Here it is. So I'm going to just copy it. Control C, Control V, and paste it in a new spreadsheet. Now, it is very important to save the file as CSV. I think this is comma separated values. I think CSV, abbreviation for comma separated values, so that JASP can recognize. Okay, JASP can recognize, yes, the Excel spreadsheet. So you must save it as CSV. So we're going to save it right here in that same folder. Right, and it will always tell you this. So you said okay. Now we are going to open our JASP software program. You go to those three horizontal parallel blue lines called Show Main Menu. Click on it. Then you go Open. Recent files you used already, but brand new. Let's go to Computer and go to Browse, because we are going to input the spreadsheet. And let's look for it. Let's go to Desktop. Are in Desktop? Yes. And where did I put it? Let's go to Recent Recordings. Math 121 hypothesis test. And here it is, Excel JASP. You see, look at the comma separated values file. That's what CSV means, comma separated values. So you click on it, you can double click on it, and it will be imported into JASP. And here it is. Okay. So all you do now, you can do whatever you want now with that value. You can calculate the mean, you can calculate your ANOVA, you can regression, but you need two sets of values for regression. What we need is a test. We're going to do the hypothesis test. So we go to test, click on test, and we want a one sample t-test. Now, by default, JASP has the one sample t-test. The t-test is very, very popular. Okay, so I'm thinking of modifying, upgrading the weekly notes to incorporate the t-test. Okay, because it is very, very popular. Okay, so, and as you see, it's coming default here as tick. So it's called T-Student. I think it's the name of a statistician that developed that test. And Zeno is for standardized. So you can untick the T student and tick the Z. Okay, and automatically on the right, JASP is automatically doing the processing, the calculation, and so it is waiting. It's actually waiting for us to transfer the variable now here in the variable box, because more than one variable is according to the column that we have, because it's only one column of values, which is score, one variable appears. But if we had another column here, it would appear there also as a different variable here, a list of variables. So you just transfer. So that's what I'm telling you now. When you download your Excel spreadsheet from Google Forms, all your variables will be appearing there. So when you save your Excel as CSV, and when you import it in to JASP, all the variables will appear, and whatever you want to do, if you want to get your charts, your bar chart or bar graph, your different tests, you can just transfer the variables, and okay, so you don't need to create frequency tables like if you're using Excel. So it's only one variable, just transfer it, and as you can see, Excel is JASP is automatically calculating the process. So we give a p-value of 0.001. So even though we take Z, it is still doing a T because it is programmed for that, okay? Now T and Z are very interrelated. T is normally when the sample size is less than 40, okay? And but the same process, the test statistic is the formula is the same basically, all right? But it's more flexible because it's basically when you're, that's what I'm telling you, if you don't get 30 in your survey, that's good, you can still work with less than 30. Okay, now so here's the p-value, so we can just go there and copy this output and just paste it now in our working. Okay, so here's the output. Okay, and step number 4 says to identify the p-value, which we did, and compare it to the significance level, and you reject the null if the p-value is less than the significance level, and do not reject the null if the p-value is greater than, and conclude. If you have rejected the null, then the alternative is the conclusion. If you did not reject the null, then the null is the conclusion. So since we have done a similar test, we can go and copy this here and do some modifications. So decision and conclusion happen in one time and comparison happen in one time. So since the p-value of 0.001, and we'll monitor it to see if it's making sense. The p-value is 0.001 is less than, yes, than the significance level of 0.05. We reject the null. What the null is saying, mu is equal to 75. Okay, that's what the null is saying. Oh, what I did not include, I did not tell JASP the test value. Oh, so that's why it still rejected it, because I put the test value as 0. We have to put the test value as 75. Later, we're going to put the test value as 85 to see what happens. So I put the test value as 75, and it's doing the calculations, and it still give the p-value of 0.01, but it changed the Z to 58. Okay, but the p-value is still, oh, it's saying less than 0.001, not 001, less than 0.001. The p-value is less than 0.001. Remember, we got 0.0000 when we use Excel. Okay, so it's saying less than 0.001. Okay, so let's copy this. Just click here, copy, and paste in our worksheet. Where are we? Here. So it's not this. Delete table. Okay. And then let's paste this here. So the p-value of less than 0.001. I can just put the same symbol. Here it is. The p-value of less than 0.001 is less than the significant level of 0.05, we reject the null. So we reject that statement. The mean is not equal to 75. Okay, so therefore the population mean is greater than 75. And now to deepen the analysis, we can actually calculate the sample mean. To compare it. With Excel, the output giving you the sample mean one time, but with JASP, it does not, the output does not provide you with the sample mean. It gives you the z-test statistic. So what we need to do, or the t-test statistics, what we need to do is to go to descriptives. This is a variable score, and we go to statistics. Now, what statistic we're looking for? You have the quartiles, you have the mode, the median, the mean we want. We don't want the maximum, we don't want the minimum, we don't want the standard deviation. You see all the statistics we started here, they are range, interquartile range, variance, maximum, minimum value. Okay, you have the mean, average, deviation, all you have extra statistics happening. Okay, the mean we want. Okay, so, and here it is, the mean, look, it give it to us one time. The mean is 84.857, okay, which is greater than the 75 we hypothesized. Okay, so in a real research, you can even include this output in your presentation, okay, and to comment on it that the mean is actually, the sample mean, okay. I say in fact, or furthermore, or moreover, all those words you can use when you are completing your research. Furthermore, the sample mean or moreover, okay, moreover sounds good. Moreover, the sample mean is approximately, 85. Okay. 85 is more than 75%. Even more, right? So as you can see, this is a demonstration of the one sample t-test, in fact, Z2 t-test using JASP. Okay.